I live in 2 different cities, and so pretty much every week I'm either in Rochester, New York or in Montreal, Quebec. So that means that my life has to be kind of split, especially when it comes to devices that I'm playing. Because I'm on the road so much, I need devices that I can just throw in my bag and be able to play on the go, because who knows which week I'll be where. I have such a unique situation here because my beautiful girlfriend lives in Montreal. So I need devices to be able to play, and she plays games, and so it works for both of us. When it comes to devices that I typically have with me, I'm filming a lot of videos, so I usually have a ton of devices, but there's a few that are my go-tos, my dependables. Last year, there was a big push of like the Trifecta, the 3 devices, the Holy Trinity. I need a SUPERFECTA, the 4-horse pick. I really want to get the most out of my devices, and I think you'll see why as we get into the video. So stay tuned, we'll get into it. The devices that I always have with me, no matter where I am in the world. Hey, I'm Ty, Tynology. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about devices that I just always have on hand. You know, I'm not gonna pack up my PS5, stick it in my car every week. And so I need devices that allow me and my girlfriend to play games on the fly. So the first device up is the TrimUI Brick. This is, about a $50 to $70 handheld, depending on what deal you can get. Be sure to check the description. I'll have the best deal I can find right now for all these devices. But the TrimUI Brick, it's like a 3.2-inch screen, very small little Gameboy style console. And it's powerful. It can run up to Nintendo DS, PS1, N64, most of those catalogs without issue. I wouldn't suggest DS games because the screen is very small, unless you have a very specific single screen DS game that you want to play. Other than that, everything back, Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Genesis, Super Nintendo, PS1, even some Dreamcast, it handles really well. It is my go-to because it's so small, so premium feeling. The back is metal, other parts are plastic. They actually just came out with the TrimUI Brick hammer, which is all metal. I don't think it's worth the extra 30, 40 bucks that you're going to pay for that, because this one works just fine and it feels very premium already. You can swap out the shoulder buttons for whatever you want. The processor is plenty powerful to do exactly what we want. I like the stock software, but you can also load custom operating systems onto it. It's just a fantastic device. It's one of my favorite devices of 2024, and it's something that comes with me everywhere because, I have a little case for it. It's super pocketable. It's not gonna be the end of the world if I have to replace it. Super inexpensive. This is my baseline cheap handheld that plays everything up through the turn of the century. It's hard to beat it. It has Wi-Fi. You can do retro achievements. It just works. And it comes preloaded with a bunch of games. Not the best selection of games, but you can also load your own ROMs. You can just get it going and play as soon as you get it. Great little device, must have. Now, some alternatives, if this isn't your style, I have to say the Anbernic RG35XXSP series, the XX series in general, they're all based on the same chipset, a very similar chipset to the TrimUI Brick. There's a bunch of different form factors. So I like the RG35XXSP because of the clamshell design. It looks like a Game Boy Advance SP. The built-in overlays on it, especially for Game Boy Advance games, is fantastic. It looks just like an SP. But all these devices, there's like a horizontal one, there's a vertical one, a 4-inch vertical one, ones with analog sticks. These are all fantastic devices for whatever you're looking for, and they're all about the same price as the TrimUI Brick. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, I'd say check those out. Also, the Miyoo Mini Plus is another one, even the Miyoo Mini V4. And then my newest addition is the Retroid Pocket Classic. This is a little bit more expensive, about 120 bucks, but you get a lot more power, a big, beautiful OLED screen, almost 4 inches. It's a little overkill for what it is. It's a very powerful processor. It can run PS2, GameCube games, but there's no analog sticks. So getting a lot of extra power that may be unnecessary. And it's Android based, so the setup is a little bit more intense. So if you want something really cool, overkill, the Retroid Pocket Classic is a cool little step up from these typical Linux handheld devices. Next up, up, I have the Retroid Pocket 5. Now, this device, it runs on a Snapdragon 865 processor, which is very powerful for emulation. It can handle everything, the TrimUI Brick, all the devices I've already talked about, but it can go through PS2, GameCube, upscaling. It has a 1080p OLED screen, 5.5 inches, beautiful, beautiful device. And I made a whole video on it if you want to check that out. This has quickly become my go-to emulation device. I used to do all my emulation on the SteamDeck, but this has quickly taken over because it has video out. I can pair Bluetooth controllers. I can just dock it wherever I am, and we can play any of these games from the beginning of time through, even some Wii U, 3DS, even some moderate Switch emulation. It's beautifully built, all glass front, OLED screen, fantastic. And I can use the same dock for my SteamDeck as the Retroid Pocket. It's my workhorse. It's the one that I cannot leave at home, so it always comes with me. Next up, I talked about it a little bit ago, is the SteamDeck. I bought this at launch, and I got the base, the 64 gigabyte model, and it works fantastic. It's so amazing to have your entire Steam library all in one handheld. Honestly, it's one of the most comfortable handhelds to hold. I love the thumbstick placement. Feels so natural. This has probably been the device that has been used most in the last 2 to 3 years because Sally and I are playing through. We're trying to get 4 stars on every single Overcooked level, which is a bitch, but we're having a blast with it. We play Borderlands 2 and we'll dock one on the TV and then use a computer for the other. And so many games, it's the default because my Steam library is huge. And then before I started using the Retroid for emulation, I have EmuDeck loaded up on here with the 500 gigs of ROMs. It does everything and I love it. And I'm throwing in a new SSD in here in the next week or two. I'm putting in a 1 terabyte SD card. And so I love the expandability. This thing, it's hard to beat having a Steam Deck. I think I convinced Sally to get a PC handheld just from me bringing the Steam Deck around so much. And then lastly, I have to say it's my Switch 2. I bring the Switch 2 around because I just bought it and it was expensive and I want to make sure I use it. But I was surprised after like 2 months of having the Switch 2, I barely used it because I'm not huge into Mario Kart. And it wasn't until Donkey Kong Bonanza came out that I really started picking it up more, and I'm almost done with that amazing game. But having my Switch library native all on me, Sally's obviously a big Nintendo fan, and so we play a lot of Nintendo-based games, even if it's like Family Feud on the Switch. And so having my Switch 2 with me to play Nintendo, specifically Nintendo first-party games, if we're being honest, I can't leave home without that. It would be weird for me to travel without having my Switch or Switch 2 now. While I'm not playing a ton of games with it, I have to bring it. I'm looking forward to Metroid Prime 4, Kirby Air Riders, Age of Imprisonment. Those are 3 games this year that I will be buying and I will be playing. And so the Switch 2 just comes with me. I have like 4 Switches now. Was the OLED that would come with me or the Switch Lite, but the Switch 2 is now my default Switch to come along with me. Plus, JSal sent like 4 or 5 Switch 2 cases to me. Don't know what to do with them, but my Switch 2 is very protected. So thank you for that. Now, lastly, I have to give a shout out to some original hardware, somewhat original hardware. It's hard to beat playing original Game Boy games on original hardware. While I don't take this everywhere, it usually kind of stays at home with me. Having a Game Boy Color with the new OLED screen, being able to play a Game Boy in this way, it's unreal. It feels like you're cheating in a way because there's so many cool features, but you're still playing on original hardware. You got the Game Boy Color logo that lights up in different colors that you can swap. It's a touch screen. The screen is just beautiful. It pops. You have different, scan line effects and everything that are all built into the screen itself. And it's just fantastic. And now this is a little bit of a plug because I build these and sell them over at shop.tynology.com. Having upgraded sound, USB-C charging, OLED screen, all with, brand new custom buttons and shells, and then sticking a flash card in there, you have the entire Game Boy library at your fingertips. I don't travel with it because of these other options, but it's such a unique experience to be able to do this. So if you're interested in one of those, go to shop.tynology.com, build whatever color, whatever variants that you want, and I'll give you a free case. and some stickers. So what do you think? Is 4 handheld devices too many every single Friday that I'm traveling? I happen to fall in love with a girl that likes playing video games, and she has her own setups, but you know, I'm gonna bring my own shit. I'm the game master. I like coming up with game night ideas and stuff that we can do together. Between these 4 setups, I can pretty much play almost every single possible game in existence, which is wild. So what about you? How many handhelds do you typically travel with? Do you just stick to one? What's your go-to for travel? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to join our Discord, the Tynology Discord. Fantastic people there. Follow me on social media. I'm on X, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on Instagram. Be sure to, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to get more. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll be back soon. And I'm not lying. All right, happy gaming. Cheers.